Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the late night USC cast. It is going to be the Washington Gamers up against New Jersey. We're going to start off with the classic Washington Gamer warm-up. Actually, a different warm-up than we usually see from Washington. But I'm MyFlame, joined today by Chillier Pear. How are you feeling about this one?
This is going to be quite the exciting match. Like you said, we've got the Washington Gamers versus the Brooklyn Nets here. New Jersey with the vastly different roster, as we've mentioned in passing multiple times for this year. New Jersey losing a little bit more of their experienced half of the roster, which has affected them a little bit, it appears. New Jersey, not normally a team that would be in the losers bracket this early on into the tournament. However, they had a bit of a rough upper bracket run, losing to Minnesota in the round of 32, to a very strong Minnesota in the round of 32. They looked significantly better against Louisiana in the round of 16 last weekend, and now they're here to face off against Washington in quarterfinals. Washington falling to the losers bracket against none other than New York. Again, one of our favorites to potentially win the tournament this year. So a big uphill battle for both of these teams in the early stages here as we now look to pin them against each other for a chance to even stay in the tournament.
In Washington, very experienced team. I think they've got 4 players that have played USC before Vince and Cool Nuck being the newcomers that you see on the screen right now. And Texas is a pretty rough matchup for them early on. It was just unfortunate seeding because Texas is seed 7, even though I'd probably put them as a top 3 team. But so much experience. Berderix especially has been the captain of this team forever. And a lot of very strong low AR hidden players on this team, lots of very strong tech players. I think that's what they're going to be looking towards in this match.
Well, we've got plenty of opportunity to see where these teams stand in terms of a slightly more difficult map pool. That's something I've kind of mentioned in the earlier matches today, where we're really looking at how that skill cap is going to start holding up now as we move into the quarterfinals in these future rounds. It's going to be about that overall team performance now, and how well they're able to scale up on these marginally more difficult pools now.
Yep. Worth noting as well, Vince was actually the best performer for Washington in round of 32, but was not available for their match last week against New York. They did end up losing 5-2. So we'll see how much that was a factor. I'm curious how much we're going to see Vince in during this match, I should say, and most likely just going to be in for a few things. We're going to see Conrad in for most things, probably as well as Vince, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, Vince is unfortunately now going to be a bit of a wild card in my mind, having been absent for the round of 16, and only being visible so far for their performance in terms of round of 32 level difficulty map pools. I wonder how that performance that we saw from Vince in the round of 32 will carry over to the quarterfinals, which is a marginally more difficult map pool. So that's the question.
Exactly. Scaling going to be the big challenge for Vince. I think we do have one more warm-up. I mean, looking into pick bans, I think New Jersey have looked incredible on some of the hard rocks so far. They've had some really solid... Oh, that's what I like to see. So we're getting right into rolls then. New Jersey have had some very strong speed scores as well. So I think we're likely to see Washington opting to some of the more tech hidden focus picks. New Jersey opting into some of the more tapping, some of the more hard rock focus picks. And so potentially looking at towards something like the Free Mod 1 or even the Hidden 3 as potential bans for New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey, I think, we talked about their roster being slightly different from the previous years. They are losing a couple of key players on that roster in there. One of them, crucially, being their longtime captain, Miles, who was a large part of this team's coordination for a very long time, for as long as I can remember in the history of United States Cup. And Sawada another DT face on that team, so some of their speed going there. So New Jersey's sitting on a little bit of a different position now than they used to, compared to Washington, who have cycled through a couple of players over the years, some very strong players, losing Freddie Benson over the years, and they had Monco for a little period of time as well. So some very strong faces in Washington that they don't have this year for those super high skill cap late round stages, but they were never a team that was defined by that star player. It certainly helped them win certain sets of matches in certain years, but they are a team that has, relatively remained, reasonable in their roster changes. So we'll see what that end up for them there. New Jersey will be first banning the 3-mod1 to start us off today. That is going to be Dumb Surfer, taking no chances on that map against Washington.
Yeah, not the kind of map you really want to play into the kind of hidden players on Washington. Looking at players like Verderix, the captain, especially, is a monster on some of those picks. We get the DT2. Washington, of course, going to be banning out the speed, the tapping. New Jersey, likely to ban out the hidden 3, just getting rid of all those low AR picks. And Washington, they do have a couple options. I think we're either going to see another speed map banned out or potentially one of the hard rocks, but my guess is just no mud for that other speed pick, and there it is.
But for the final ban of this match, it's Washington's first pick now. This is going to be a very telling first map here, not only for skill set direction and the way that these two teams are going to want to go picking through this, but for the overall consistency of these two teams here. We have yet to see these two teams go up against an opponent that is so vastly close in terms of overall composition and skill level that, it's going to be very important to see how these two teams respond to having an opponent that is very evenly matched for them. Not necessarily just even on seed alone, which is close to begin with, 10th seed Washington versus 13th seed New Jersey, but for the overall level that these players are sitting at in New Jersey, potentially with a interesting performance this year, a little bit more variable than Washington. They looked not amazing in the round of 32. They looked a little bit better in the round of 16, and the question is, do they get a little bit better into the quarterfinals, or do they let the skill cap roll over them a little bit more as the loudest crack of thunder in the universe hits outside my window? Hope everyone heard that.
Yeah, we didn't hear anything, unfortunately.
I'm sure
it was Big Thunder, though. And I think while these teams are very competitive in terms of skill level, they have very diametrically opposed skill sets. And so it's going to be really important to win the early picks for both of these teams. You don't want to give up any early break points, especially in a match like this, because for the most part, you can't really expect to take a break point from your opponent, at least for the first maybe 3 picks for each team. And it's going to be not until much later in this match that we may start to see some break points. Things start to get a little bit more iffy, but here we go into the DT3. We've got Athantrix, Conrad Mitten, Vince in for Washington, New Jersey, featuring Fame Time, Grogwan, and Water. Interestingly, no Gaby this time around.
This is going to be the start of something great, I think, iFlame. This is the potential to be one of the closer matches that we've seen this weekend. We've already gotten some tiebreakers coming out on this map pool and some 6-4s as well. So we're really sitting on a interestingly close weekend overall here as we see some breaks on these buzz sliders very early.
Yep, this map very heavy on the aim, the slider aim, and a couple tech patterns as well that you have to watch out for. It's going to be another miss from Grogwan. And it's going to be an advantage over to Washington. They have fallen a little bit behind in terms of accuracy, but Fame Time now finding the miss for New Jersey. So big edge over to Washington now as Vince is on a very nice recovery.
Good start. Couple buzz slider breaks. Nothing to be too worried about. It's about whether or not we see repeated versions of those as the map continues to progress. This map is very much Conrad's skill set right now. It also is Waters for New Jersey. So my eyes are on those two for the repeat performances on this map as Vince and Gragwin find the break on the 1/3 there. Water to find a break in the first PI here. It's Ethan, Trix, and Conrad on Washington. Only Fame Time stands with a large combo on New Jersey. And even then, that's with borderline 92% accuracy as they now drop the combo. And Ethan, Trix, and Conrad continue proving why Washington is going to win all of their own picks at the start of this match.
Of course, that is the goal, but Washington feeling good about themselves so far, looking to be very dominant on this DT3. Always a good way to start it out, and now it's really a question of whether or not these players can hold out the combos. There's just no time for New Jersey to make the comeback, even though we still have half of the map left. That score gap is absolutely massive.
Yeah, this is just absolutely unreal at the start of this map here. Ethan Trix finally finding a break. I was wondering if we were going to see that given the low accuracy from Ethan Trix. I was kind of expecting to see a break eventually on one of these sections. It just denotes that he's possibly not super comfortable on this map altogether. But it's still Conrad, and while New Jersey does have some seriously nice combos on Fame Time and Water, they would need to see a break from, I think, all three players on Washington. They're going to get two of them, but Conrad is the crucial one that they need to see through this finger control section. And Conrad going to be hitting that break down there. Will break afterwards, but not before both players on New Jersey break alongside him. And Washington seems like they're going to close this one out with just around 700k of a lead as Conrad fully disconnects.
Yeah, I mean, I have to imagine that just left the lobby right away, or potentially
Could you imagine?
In the last note.
Yeah, I think they just left right after.
We saw the score, so it's going to be a point for Washington regardless.
Yeah,
and
this was
Conrad
way too big.
Has put in so much work for this Washington roster, getting very impressive, nearly, I think it's 800k for Washington on this DT3, and was the 5th best player throughout the entirety of USC last week. So Conrad is on very good form right now, and now it's up to New Jersey to find the next pick, but they have quite a few options. They're going to potentially look to some of those tapping focus picks, and potentially one of those hard rocks as well.
Yeah, that was a significant win for Washington, even if you take Conrad's score before he left the match, or rather got kicked out. It's maybe something wrong with Bancho or something otherwise there. Maybe he hit the wrong button. I don't know what happened there. Either way, Conrad had a ridiculous score gap alongside the fact that his two teammates were otherwise only about 20k. Actually, unironically, both of his other two teammates were probably down only about 10k on the entire total team score of New Jersey. So a significant gap for Washington on their first pick there in terms of how comfortable they are. New Jersey gonna go in for something a little bit more stamina heavy here. The finger control pick on No Mod 5, repeated triples, repeated quintuple, single tap jumps in between. We've seen a lot of people get caught up on the aim on this map rather than the finger control, and I wonder if that's going to continue to be where these two teams sit here.
And this is the kind of pick that you, again, would expect to see Gaby in on for the most part. New Jersey have been running a Gaby Fame Time on every single map. That has been the core two of this team. And then having players such as Gragwan, Water, and HR3 filling those extra spots. So Gaby is just potentially not here for this match if they're not going to be coming in for this map. So we'll be finding out very shortly, but I have a feeling if Gaby doesn't show up here, probably not going to be seeing Gaby this match at all. I don't think so either.
Yep. I think I've seen a couple people say that Gaby is probably not here, and I believe it after not seeing his face in any part of this match thus far. So, New Jersey, let's hope that doesn't get to them. New Jersey was running with a little bit of a low team morale on their round of 32 match. They were also missing Water on that match due to some unfortunate technical circumstances, and missing Gaby right now, perhaps due to bed circumstances. We'll see if they let that affect them, or if they are just going to buckle down and give this the best they got here. What New Jersey do we have today? We shall see as we get into the first set of finger control patterns here on this map. Once again, there's that double into a single note in the middle into another double pattern shift that happens at one point at this beginning. And right here is where I'm wondering if someone's going to get caught on one of these. And it's Gragwin, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's already 2 FCs gone for New Jersey. This
Oh,
map
the
doesn't really
triangle.
let up. This triangle has claimed quite a few combos. It's going to claim 2
It's
for
all
New
of New
Jersey,
Jersey.
including the full combo. It claims 1 on Washington as well, but Athantrix and Conrad are going to nail that triangle. No problems whatsoever. Accuracy, very impressive for both of those players. Vince as well, a high 99. And this map is relatively consistent in terms of difficulty after that circle. There are some trickier sections towards the end that are absolutely brutal, but I think Washington are now going to have a very good opportunity to really push this combo and take over this map.
Yeah, that was Gragwin finding a miss on the last note before that pause here as well. We've got a long stream at the beginning here. If anyone over-aims it, nobody does. Here's some doubles. It's going to be fame time and water, unfortunately. Vince, the only one to have any trouble on Washington on this map. High accuracy, though, 99%. So that's going to be a big help over New Jersey right now, with no other player being relatively close in terms of the accuracy here. Athantrix and Conrad once again going in on this map right now as a duo, holding through this finger control section here. Probably one of the more difficult finger control sections, as it does claim Athantrix. However, as long as that single combo stands on Washington, there is just absolutely no reason that New Jersey gets back into this. Conrad missing up the triple single tap stacks in this section of the map here, unfortunately. Going to drop the final FP available to Washington, but not before almost doubling New Jersey's team score.
Yeah, it's at this point in the map, I think, where the stamina really starts to get to you, and we see players dropping a lot more accuracy. Many of those 99s have dropped down to 97s. Conrad, the only one really holding high accuracy there. We see 93s and 4s for Water and Fame time, and this ending is absolutely brutal. We're going to see misses left, right, and center as we close this one out, but Washington have done more than enough to take this early break point.
This is just pure finger control right here. You've got to be able to focus on these triples into the single stacks, and it is Washington still with a gap on New Jersey with less than a quarter of the way left to go. We got one other stream here. Nobody gets claimed by it. There's big combos on both sides right now, but we're running out of map, and I think Washington needed to break probably 10 to 15 seconds ago on many of their players in order for New Jersey to get back into this. They're going to claw back a little bit of score, but it is still 400k, and that is far too much for the note density at the end here.
Yeah, part of the challenge of having a key player missing for New Jersey, especially if you didn't know they were going to be missing, is that now you have to find a fill player on maps that they weren't necessarily ready or expecting to play. And that can be tricky. Now, it was solid, pretty comparable scores all around for New Jersey. Water struggling a little bit more, but not a terrible score. And Washington now up 2-0, have the next pick, and they're going to look to keep pushing this lead. I think they have a lot of good options open, and 3-0 lead this early on would be pretty tough to come back from for New Jersey.
Yeah, this is a unfortunate start for New Jersey. That was a rough team performance, to say the least, especially on their own first pick. To have two of your players at sub 400k and your best performance to be a player with 93% accuracy is concerning, to say the least. So I worry for the fate of New Jersey in this match, as Washington on that Athantrix Conrad combo has been quite terrifying.
Yep. Now they're opting to the hidden one. This is the Washington map of the pool, if there was one. It's going to be the Slider Tech hidden pick, and Washington had the #1 score on the Slider Tech pick last week, of course. Last week, it was a no mod 2 rather than a hidden 1, but a same style of map, and the fact that they're just as talented on the hidden, so many good hidden players on this team, that means they're going to have a very good time on this map, and I think New Jersey might be in a bit of trouble for this one. As hey Dada, welcome to the match.
Oh hell yeah, TriCast.
TriCast.
I just want to say one thing. Apparently, New Jersey doesn't have Gaby, and he's asleep in a voice chat in a different server. So I am now doing a public call out. Anybody who's in that server, produce the loudest sounds you can make in that voice chat, and maybe we can get him back.
I agree. Rock it out.
Thank you, Dada. We appreciate
Thank you, Dada. That is your host and map pooler, Dada.
Has made some banger map pulls. I will say there are so many good maps in this pool. Hidden 1, the DT4 is a banger. Here we go, though, into the Hidden 1, New Jersey. I think the comeback needs to start now, or they could very quickly be out of this match.
Yeah, this is a 3-0 at the start of a match is a rough spot, even when we push this up to best of 11. So we'll see if New Jersey is able to claw something back here. Unfortunately, Water finding a break. One of their better players on this skill set is not the start to this map that you wanted to see. Also, once again, Gaby, one of New Jersey's better players on this skill set, is missing for this pick.
Yep, Hard Rock 3, despite the name, not a bad hidden player though, has subbed in already for quite a few hiddens for New Jersey throughout the tournament, and things are going to be pretty even early on here. Just those 2 early misses from New Jersey. They're on solid recoveries now, so if they can hold on to those combos, they're going to be right in this one with Washington. It's going to come down to that next really tricky KI section that's coming up in a moment, and it's up to Washington to hold on to this lead.
Yeah, this is a better start than some of the other picks we've seen thus far, though. New Jersey behind on the combo, but not by a significant margin. Unfortunately, Fame Time dropping the only remaining FC for New Jersey is not going to be doing them any favors going into this next section here. This map is relatively tech favored at the beginning, and then it becomes more flow aim oriented towards the ending of the pick. And we're kind of coming towards the ending of that beginning tech section, and we're going to progress into that flow aim relatively soon.
This is going to be the real big test here. As long as they have Water, there is still some hope for New Jersey, but honestly, they're probably going to need all 3 of those Washington combos to fall off because they don't really have the supporting combo. Fame Time trying their best to find recovery, but not able to do so, is now finding another miss. It's Washington once again off to a very, very sizable lead. 300,000 at the halfway mark, and with Hard Rock 3 finding another miss, Water is all alone right now, trying to fend off against 3 full combos.
Yeah, this is shaping up to potentially be, I'm going to wait until we get to the pause here. Yes, 3-way FC through halfway of the map for Washington, and shaping up to be one of the highest team scores on this map of the weekend thus far. Conrad with the lol, very clearly impressed with his team's performance on this map here. I certainly would be too. A triple FC in quarterfinals is something to be feared. And Washington, a team, once again, that we said they've had some strong players come and go in the past, but a strong roster regardless outside of those star players. And Conrad and Ethantrix have been 2 of those star players for a very long time, as well as Verderix, one of the longest-running United States Cup players alongside Conrad, and a long-standing tournament player. They are like the 2 staples of the Washington tournament scene at the bottom of your screen there.
They certainly are, and Washington is such an exciting team to watch, and they have been over the years. They have been kind of infamous for outperforming their seeding, upsetting teams that they have no business upsetting quite a number of times. I think it was only a few years ago that they upset a very good SoCal team, or maybe it might have been a NorCal team, in one of the earlier rounds of the tournament. And good to see them on form today as they're still holding on to all 3 of their full combos. We'll see how many of those hold into the ending. Hopefully at least 2.
It might be all. They're at the ending here, unless someone blunders a double because of nerves. This is unbelievable. Water, actually, by the way, for New Jersey, really trying to come up big there with that 600k. But there is simply nothing that you could do. Unfortunately, at the current venture in the map, the second New Jersey found a single miss, they lost this map. 1 is all it took. And they found 3, unfortunately. As I try not to say anything into the ending of the pick, we are going to continue talking about New Jersey as much as possible. New Jersey, unfortunately, not going to be winning this map. Damn you, Conrad! He's still going to put up a higher score than Verderix based on accuracy, though, so well frickin' done, Washington. 2.8 million team score on quarterfinals hidden 1 Energy Synergy Matrix. What a performance from what was Washington again? The 10th seed in the tournament this year. Absolutely crazy stuff from them as New Jersey continues to fall to the rear.
Yeah, in fact, New Jersey could have 3-way FC'd that map as well, and they still would have lost on accuracy against Washington. They're going to come up with a very quick DT1 pick, though, and I have a feeling that score from Washington is going to be the 2nd week in a row where they get the top score on the Slider Tech map. So, you know, if you play Washington, ban Slider Tech, unless it's in the Hard Rock pool, then you might be safe. But in the meantime, we've got DT1. It is going to be CS3, bigger circles, very heavy on the aim, and quite a few bursts at 285 can be very tricky, but not the focus of the map, as you might be able to double tap them if you're not comfortable.
Yeah, this is honestly, the first time I've actually seen DT1 picked this weekend thus far. I don't actually think I've seen this yet. I don't know if it's the first time it's been picked in general, but it's the first time I've seen it, certainly. So I don't actually know what this map is, which is concerning, because I'm playing a match tomorrow with this map. So...
I've seen it banned out. I've not seen it picked, so we'll see how it goes. The burst, I mean, most of the map is aim, but then there are just some bursts thrown in that are deceptively fast, that are kind of a speed check that I imagine will catch quite a few players out. Because it is a faster map, we are going to see WarpScon come in for Washington, does play those faster speed tapping maps. And we just have, once again, FameTime, HR3, and Grogwan in for New Jersey.
Well, DT1 is New Jersey's second opportunity to get on the board here. They do have a relatively good DT roster, so I like New Jersey's chances on a map like this. Washington, not traditionally known as a DT speed team, but they certainly have a good roster for it, so this is a matter of whether or not New Jersey is going to be able to outperform that roster across all three of their players. This is, again, the consistency game that they're looking for here. It has the team performance rather than the solo.
Yeah. This map does take a little bit to pick up. It is a very short map as well, only a minute and 40 seconds. So at this point, even though it's only a 300 combo, every miss is going to be massive in terms of score. It's going to be Washington finding the first miss this time around, traded back now by FameTime. So USC's the 2. Going to even things out. FameTime finding yet another miss. That's going to be okay for New Jersey as they still have their 2 high combos. There goes another FC from Washington as Vince, well, he finds the slider break. WarpScon now doing it alone, but very good accuracy on WarpScon is going to keep Washington in the lead for at least a little bit.
This is big for New Jersey to fix it up. Unfortunately, Hard Rock 3 dropping that combo with 93% accuracy is the most destructive miss that we've seen thus far. That low AC on score V2 dropping combo absolutely hard caps your score, as Gragwin now becomes the sole holder for New Jersey right now. If WarpScon finds a miss, there is still opportunity here, but it has to come out in this section right now, and I don't think... Oh, wait a second! WarpScon! That might have been the last possible second that they could see that New Jersey might be able to claw this back at the end. It's 100,000 score, but no, Gragwin is not able to hold into the ending. New Jersey, I think they could have had it into the ending, but they let it slip away at the last possible second, even if it was possible, and Washington will maintain their 4-0.
Yeah, they might have had the time. They were ever so close to starting to pull this one back, but New Jersey certainly on the back foot now. Things are starting to look a little bit dire, and now Washington has a chance to be on match point with their next pick, have the chance to shut out New Jersey here. And they have a lot of picks left open. I've only picked 2 maps. They've got still, I believe, the Hidden 2 open. They also have, actually, the Free Mod 1 was banned out. So Hidden 2, I think, looking generally pretty good for them. DT4, also possible.
Possible. We haven't seen any of the Hard Rocks yet, either. And some of these Hard Rocks are a little more awkward.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if the Hard Rocks were a Washington pick. Was there potentially a New Jersey next pick if they not feeling comfortable or anything else?
Yeah, I unironically do think that the Hard Rocks are a better area for Washington overall in this map. New Jersey has never been a bad Hard Rock state, but even when they actually had a significant number of their main Hard Rock players from their existing roster still playing on the team, they were an okay Hard Rock team. So it would be interesting to see, what that looks like in this match. But it is the DT4. They're going to go for the old style linear finger control.
It's a 2009 map. Some of these finger control patterns are pretty crazy, as you can imagine. Washington, somewhat as expected, keeping the AR low. This one is AR6 before DT, so AR 8.3. And at 210 BPM, there could be some stamina element, as the map is about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. But I imagine with the players on these 2 teams, the stamina shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, this has generally been... I think the way that I kind of described this map a while back is... You know, if anyone here ever knows, like, Ekiben, that really old DT finger control map, but, you know, this is very similar in terms of style to that. We're a little bit more high BPM on there, but very, very much interesting to see what's going to happen here. Washington, ridiculous old map players on this roster for them in DT. New Jersey, got a couple of faces here that I like to see.
Yeah, and Conrad mentions has the old version of the map. This map was approved in 2009, Shillier. That's a very, very old version of the map. Regardless, has the correct version now into the DT4, and New Jersey, they're going to need 2 break points to make a comeback in this match, and this is maybe not the pick they're going to do it on, but they're certainly going to try. They're certainly going to put in their best effort. Already dropping some early accuracy, so 2 misses actually from New Jersey. Water and Grogan missing on the same section, and Washington once again with the early advantage. Accuracy recovering nicely for them as well. Fame time now dropping, and New Jersey not having a good time so far on this DT4 pick.
Yeah, this is, again, I think kind of Washington's game here. These old style maps in terms of DT finger control. So this is kind of their game right now. This is their match to lose. New Jersey, you know, even if they cleaned up their performance as a team right now, they would have to start matching up to this absolutely ridiculous consistency out of the Washington players. Oh, Verta going to mess up one singular note there at the ending of that pattern. He actually had the highest accuracy on his team by a pretty decent margin, so very tragic to see. But if there's ever a player you want to see break, it's unironically the player that has the highest act.
Yeah, that kind of broken combo is going to be worth a little bit more with the higher act. We do see Conrad following up with a miss as well. But unfortunately for New Jersey, Ethantrix still holding very strong up at 650 combo. Water on a nice recovery, but not quite enough to match. Now, if Ethantrix does find a miss, New Jersey has the time to make a comeback, but Ethantrix has not missed yet, not looking to do so on this next pattern in Water. Is going to have to hold on for the entire rest of the map.
Well, it's Ethantrix right now versus Water. If either of them finds a break, this could actually mean some serious detrimental things could happen for either team here. There is about the same supporting combo on both sides. Ethantrix has lower accuracy than Water to the point where both of them have ridiculously low act, but this is a combo game at the base level of it here, so we are really looking for either of these players to find a break right now. It's going to be Verterix to find a drop immediately after the pause here. Quarter of the way left to go in the map. Ethantrix does have about 150 combo lead over Water here, and it's all down to these two. It's such a close score gap if we see a miss from either, but it's Fame time to find a break, and that's not going to help at all.
Yeah, Water with a very impressive score. We do see the drop from Washington, but I
think it's too late.
Do they have the time? It's 400,000 points, and there's only about 15 seconds left of the map. I think it's too little, too late for New Jersey, as Washington will be on match point.
There goes Water anyway. Wouldn't have had it until the end, and even then it would have needed the full combo, I think, to make that happen. Once again, Washington, the more consistent team overall. A 500k and a 400k to support the #1 score from Ethantrix, compared to a 300, almost 400k, and a 200k to support the 600k from Water there. So just a simple difference in overall roster composition here for Washington on their own pick, as New Jersey unfortunately falls to 5-0. It is their pick. They have one final opportunity to prevent the sweep in this match, and they're going to try it on No Mod 3, the awkward aim mechanics style map.
New Jersey, they just wanted to make this one a banger. It's down 5-0 on match point with their backs against the wall. They're now ready to show up and through AFC this No Mod 3. I think we're going to just see Fame time, Agraguan, and possibly HR3. No Siru either for New Jersey is pretty rough. Is also one of their higher skill cap players and has not made an appearance in this match.
And New Jersey really feeling the effects of missing two of their highest skill cap players on this roster here. Gaby and Siru both missing for this match is absolutely destructive to this New Jersey roster. That is very far and beyond two of their best players on this roster overall here. And in a quarterfinals match, they need them.
They certainly do. And they're not going to waste any time getting into this no mod 3. This may very well be the end for New Jersey, but they will try and put up a fight. HR3 subbing in for Water on this pick. And for Washington, it's going to be Verderix, Coolnuck, and Vince looking to close this one out.
Well, Mechanics pick for New Jersey. In theory, it bodes well for them, but they're going to need to see some more consistency out of this Mechanics roster. There has been a distinct lack of Mechanics picks picked in this match thus far, DT1 being the most Mechanics favored map thus far. And even then, they simply got outclassed by Washington on overall roster here, so we are looking for a big improvement here from New Jersey for that consistency on some of these longer bursts here. We've seen a lot of teams struggle on the bursts in between the sections of AIM on this map as well. And that might contribute to either of these two teams' downfall as Verderix and Coolnuck find breaks at the beginning here. Only HR3, and for once, New Jersey takes an early combo lead.
Into the break. Washington going to be relatively happy with their position. Both teams in a very solid spot. But of course, New Jersey now has a chance to potentially take over the score lead. Accuracy is going to keep things close for now, but after this slow section, of course, will be the next KI. And New Jersey really needs to hold on to their combos. We've seen Vince put up really solid scores on these kinds of maps and is the kind of player that can hold through that section. And so I don't think you can afford to drop either of these combos for New Jersey.
You cannot. There is no wiggle room that Washington is giving them right now. HR3 to drop the combo, but that's not the miss that Washington needs from New Jersey as Verderix continues to trade out with HR3. This match is going to stay relatively even until Coolnuck finds a break, and now New Jersey has an even bigger advantage than they had before. It is just Vince to combat Fame Time and Graguin, and we talked about New Jersey needing to find a little bit more consistency as a roster right now, and they found that along with a bonus couple of drops from Washington that we have not yet seen in this match from them. This is probably the lowest scoring performance from Washington we've seen out of any map in this match by a significant margin right now, and New Jersey is capitalizing on it as they should, going to try and prevent the sweep.
Yeah, this is the best chance they've had all match long, and there's only half of the map to go. They've pushed that score lead now to 100,000 points, but it's still close enough that Vince can bring this one back if we see the combo fall. Washington are starting to rebuild the supporting combos as well with Verderix on a 400 combo. And there's one more very tricky section coming up shortly. That's going to be the real test for New Jersey to see whether they can hold on to this point.
Here we go. Next section of the map. This is the final area of comeback potential for New Jersey, or for Washington if they take it, but New Jersey not looking like they're going to allow that to happen. Again, the best performance we've seen from them in this match thus far. There's a break from Vince and from Coolnuck, and that is going to prevent any possible comeback from Washington. Verderix to seal the deal. Fame Time and Graguin to put up some exceptional performances at least through 3/4 of the map now, looking for that final section to close out here. HR3 coming in a little short of his teammates here at only 300k coming up on now. However, it simply does not matter. Fame Time and Graguin going to be very happy about this one.
Yeah, it's definitely a start. You got to start somewhere, and it's going to be on the No Mod 3 for New Jersey, but they still have quite some ways to go as they're going to need 4 more points to make it to tiebreaker. Unfortunately, both of them do drop those full combos in the end, but they've done more than enough, and it's actually a pretty decisive pick in favor of New Jersey, so really impressive performances from both Fame Time and Braguan here.
This was great stuff from the two of them. Unfortunately, we will not be getting a single FC out of it, but it'll be an almost 800k for both of them. Again, HR3 coming up short, actually, on that third there. The lowest score in the entire lobby, even below Cool Nuck. But that duo from New Jersey putting the work in. They need a little bit more of that, though. This is the first glimpse of hope we've seen from New Jersey in this match thus far. And a pretty good one at that. That's a 500k victory for them. That is the second largest score gap we've seen in this match thus far, if we're disregarding the absolute slaughterhouse that Hidden 1 was because of the performance from Washington. They need a little bit more of this, and if New Jersey can find it, they could claw a couple more points out of this, but they're going to have to fight their way through Washington picks as Hidden 2 comes out. The CS1 map.
Yeah, this is these circles are kind of massive, and yet they're still very easy to miss. This is kind of a aim control alt map. It's 222 BPM, so it's going to be 111. So it's alt style patterns, but single tappable if that is your preference. We have seen so many players miss all over the place on this one. Despite the CS1, I think this is probably one of the harder maps in the pool, in my opinion. Although maybe you disagreed, Shellier. Hidden 2 difficulty?
I don't know how I would classify this map. This is a map that is, like, it feels like it should be accessible to even players that don't play Hidden because of the density of it and the size of these circles. But there is awkward aim split into this map. There is also the key of whether or not you single tap or alternate this map. There's also the fact that the ending of the map starts to throw in triples quite frequently. And all of those contribute to this becoming a much more awkward map than it seems at face value in terms of actual gameplay. So we've seen a lot of teams that are really good at this skill set find a lot of struggle on this, but a lot of the standout players that should be good at this map have been thus far. We saw a very impressive FC on this map out of Ryunada earlier in the match immediately prior to this one. So there is potential to see some of that out of the players in this match. My eyes immediately drawn to Water for New Jersey, one of their better Hidden players overall. And I'm not sure for Washington right now. Conrad and Ethan Tricks have been the big two for consistency-wise when they've been in.
Yep, but we've seen some good scores from Vince as well, and I think thankfully for New Jersey on this map, they have 3 players that are comfortable on Hidden, so there shouldn't necessarily be anyone heavily struggling because of the Hidden itself. Maybe because of the map. That remains to be seen as all the players off to a good start, except for Fame Time, going to be finding the first miss of this one. And the map is going to really start to pick up here, get into the first key eye section. We're going to start to see a lot more misses. Fame Time finding 3 right there, but still the only player to drop so far in this map. That's going to be fantastic for Washington. Everybody hitting those wiggles.
Oh, there goes Vince. The first glimmer of hope for New Jersey starts to come to light here. It's a double FC still for them. Fame Time, the only one to find a break, and Vince now falling by the wayside as Fame Time starts to build up some combo here. And this opportunity starts to look a little bit more likely to be taken advantage of now if you are New Jersey. Again, once we can speculate whether or not Gaby would make a difference on a map like this, can you imagine Water HR3? And I can't imagine Gaby would miss the beginning of this map. This could be significantly in favor of New Jersey right now. But alas, they're making it work.
I mean, so many maps you could speculate on where Gaby and even Zero may have made a difference. But
HR3! What?
Oh, you can't miss there. That could
that's
disastrous
tragic.
for New Jersey. This is just free combo, free advantage for Washington right now. It was 30,000 points into the break. Now, before we've even gotten to the chorus, it is 70,000 for Washington, and that could be the defining miss of this map. Yes, we still have half of the map left to go, but monstrous combos right now for Ethan Trix and Conrad.
Oh man, it's two of the most consistent players too to have them.
Yeah, that is nerves if I've ever seen them from HR3.
Tragic scenes for New Jersey right now. They're down, but it's not over yet. There is only halfway through the map right now, so we've got time and note density. And if we see a single break from Washington right now, well, things start to get interesting again. New Jersey still has a singular full combo remaining right now, which means that they're down but not out, and Fame Time has a great supporting score right now. It's better than what Vince has on the back end here. HR3 only 200 combo behind Vince. If Washington finds a singular miss right now, it goes to New Jersey, but unfortunately it's HR3 to find a break, and now New Jersey needs a miss from Washington more than ever. As Water finds a miss, that might just do it. That was the FC. They needed that to hold, and New Jersey loses their final hope. Conrad breaks, but it's too late. They needed Water to hold at the ending here, and Ethan Trix is going to bring it into the ending as Fame Time drops the last glimmer of hope from New Jersey. Washington will end up closing it out with no FCs, and Vince is going to bring them into the end.
That will spell the end as the Washington Gamers are going to prevail in this match, putting up some very, very strong scores, notably that hidden one, nearly three-way FC. This is not a team you want to have to go up against in any of the future rounds, as they looked pretty dominant in this one. Yes, New Jersey had a couple missing players, but despite some good scores out of them, it was very strong team scores overall from Washington.
This was a crazy team performance from Washington, no doubt. New Jersey was fighting an uphill battle directly from the start of this match. Even if they had Gaby and Siru at their disposal, I still think this would have been quite the difficult match for this. But it's Washington to close it out, a strong team, as usual.
Yep, and this was a loser's bracket match, so we bid farewell to New Jersey as their run in USC this year has come to an end. Washington will move on to play Oklahoma at 21 seed. May be a very tough matchup for Oklahoma, but you never know. They could pull something crazy off.
It's very unfortunate, honestly, for New Jersey to get knocked out this early on in the tournament. As far as I know, this is, I think, the lowest placement that New Jersey has had in their history of United States Cup. Every team kind of has their year where they fall down just a little bit, and unfortunately this year was New Jersey's. Likewise, with a lot of other teams, the competition in this tournament is ridiculously difficult this year, and even these lower bracket matchups still had some good scores across the board. But we thank New Jersey for coming out for the tournament as usual. It's always a pleasure to see these repeat teams. New Jersey, a state that has been playing United States Cup all the way since 2017. Likewise with Washington. Both of these teams very long-standing. But it's Washington to live another day, to fight another round. And that'll be the second half of quarterfinals for them to face off against Oklahoma. And their opponent has actually been decided for the winner of that match. Washington versus Oklahoma will go into Georgia in the semifinals. But that is the final Losers Bracket Round 1 match of the weekend, iFlame.
Yes, it is. And we've actually got a bit of a break after this one. Next match, not going to be till 19 UTC tomorrow between Carolina and Kanzuri, followed by quite a few matches, 20 and 21 UTC as well, followed by some evening matches at 3 and 4 UTC. So stay tuned tomorrow evening for quite a few very close matches. There are a lot of very evenly matched teams playing tomorrow. Should be some good ones. But huge thank you to Chili Repair for joining me today, James for the cast, Ivan iFlame, and of course, thank you all for watching. We hope to see you back here tomorrow. Have a good night and take care.